Hey YouTube, it's Alicia here, none other. I'm back and I'm gonna do a wrestling talk, but this is part one. It will be a part two, so stay tuned for that. But I am coming to give y'all a wrestling talk. Now this is all about WWE wrestling booking. So the first thing I want to come and talk about, I'm going to try not to make it too long. But I wanted to come and talk about the men's division first, and then I'm going to come back in the part two and talk about the women's. So let's get started. So let me just say, when it comes to the men's booking, and what I mean by booking, some of the matches I enjoy, but then some of the bookings for certain other wrestlers I don't enjoy. So I'm going to have to come and first talk about Logan Paul. As y'all know, Logan Paul renewed his WWE's contract. I didn't think when last year they made the announcement that Logan Paul got a $1 million contract for WWE. I just felt like it was kind of disrespectful to the other wrestlers. And I'm finna get up to the match that's coming up this upcoming weekend and stuff. So the one thing I felt like the men wrestlers who don't get featured was being disrespected. Why would you give somebody like that, one, a wrestling contract, and two, why would you disrespect your other wrestlers? Because some of y'all might not think it's disrespectful, but to me, being somebody who uncle worked in the industry, yes, I had an uncle that actually worked in the industry, and I can tell y'all, he worked on the creative team to turn certain superstars into household names. Yes, he did that. He did that for over 30 years. And my thing is, when it comes to WWE, I don't like how they do things. And this particular uncle educated his nieces and nephews. He do have an opinion on the current product of certain things, even though he never worked in WWE. Let me just put that out there right quick. Never. But he has friends that used to work in the WWE and still have some that actually work in there. Not saying who, but I just feel like somebody like Logan Paul, if you got aspirations to be part of WWE, go through the proper channels and stuff. Go and get trained by a WWE legend. Go and do the tryouts. I just don't feel like because you have a celebrity status, you should get a $1 million contract. And because if you have noticed, every time Logan Paul wrestled, something has been handed to him. And I think that's where y'all fans needs to be concerned about. Why would you hand something to somebody? Yeah, I know Bad Bunny has been featured couple of times, but he don't have a contract. If you think about it, he's not an official wrestler. He's part of the WWE celebrity wing, if you think about it and stuff. But hey, he's a big Booker T fan. So, think about it, y'all. Then, the only thing I feel like WWE to me nowadays is picking and choosing who they want to push in the forefront of the company when it comes to the men's division. Because if you think about it, we haven't seen Bobby Lashley in months. Because if you remember, before a month before WrestleMania, he was being him, Bobby Lashley, and Bray Wyatt was in a pretty good storyline feud. And with this feud, it was kind of teasing like it was going to be at WrestleMania. And it didn't happen. Something happened. And what I read on Instagram not Instagram, excuse me, Facebook, Twitter. There we go. Twitter this week, earlier in the week, early last week, end of last week. And Conant had did this interview, and he like kind of made reference that, oh, Bray Wyatt needs to be fired, released. He's useless. He haven't been featured in the last few months where he's been. He's a failure as a wrestler. I don't think he had to say all of that, but it's not. I don't agree with him with everything he said, but then another part is like, you got to think WWE is giving him special treatment. Let me just say, I feel like Bray Wyatt, it gets special treatment and thing because if you think about it, they had to cancel that match. And Bobby Lashley was supposed to be featured at WrestleMania. He never got featured. They just stuck him into that men's Royal Rumble match. And that's how we got featured. And Bobby Lashley is one of your high-profile minority wrestlers. Top at that. And the way that y'all have treated him in the last 2 years, I'm counting last year, 2022 to 2023, it's not right how y'all been treating him. And we haven't seen him in months. So there goes another problem. But then somebody on there said that Bray Wyatt needs to take accountability for his actions and costing somebody for not being featured at WrestleMania. On that situation, I do agree to an extent. Now, moving right along. As we all know, we haven't seen Randy Orton in months, almost months since WrestleMania. And we got SummerSlam this weekend. I wouldn't be too surprised that he might make a return here. I wouldn't be too surprised if he makes a return because I really believe we need him at the moment. It's certain people. I wouldn't be too surprised WWE right now is doing these skeleton teases for Bray Wyatt and stuff. Do I think Conant went a little too far and was saying, oh, he needed to be fired? I'm not going to say where I stand with that. But all I'm saying, like, I wouldn't be too surprised between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt would be the ones making a return at SummerSlam. Now, getting on to, like I'm keep saying, I'm mostly talking about booking. I'm picking and choosing. We got this match between Ricochet versus Logan Paul. Now, I feel like Monday Logan Paul went below the belt. And I don't think he should have brought Ricochet's fiance into the matter. But when she saw that, when she had this face like, I'm gonna make sure my man beats you. I wouldn't be too surprised. I wouldn't be too surprised if WWE take Samantha Iverson, Ricochet's fiance, off commentary. Think about it, y'all. To make sure they have a good match. But I just hope and pray that Ricochet is the one to win over Logan Paul. And that's my opinion. The only reason I'm not too keen of Logan Paul being in WWE because every time you turn around, you have Logan Paul there. All of his matches have been handed to him. His high profile matches, if you think of it. His match between him versus Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia, handed to him. His match between him and Seth Rollins, handed to him. I know it's some more I just can't think of on the top of my head. But yeah, which one of those out of all of Logan Paul matches that you know of that y'all felt like Logan Paul should have never had? Let me hear from you. So then when it comes to like certain men wrestlers in general, I'm just gonna say this, and I have to say it to say this. I feel like WWE has done their male wrestlers wrong. Um, and I just think the male wrestlers, some of them are being done wrong. And like, it's like some, like, they could be banking on, like, Karrion Kross. Okay, I thought he was good. He came in real good at all this. He came in real good when he made his return earlier in the end of last year, early this year, when he made his return. I thought WWE is going to do something real good with him. I haven't seen nothing they've done. He had I think one or two good profile matches, but I just feel like they haven't done good by him. They haven't done good by oh my god, let me see. They have not done good by, let's see. They have not done good by oh Lord, let me see. They have not done good by Drew McIntyre. You know, when he returned, he was like the most must see and stuff, and so he's not haven't been done correctly. Let's see who else. Sheamus haven't been done right, and then I believe when it comes to certain factions, WWE are too quick to axe them. Too quick to axe the factions and stuff like that. But overall, but then if you think about it, we have had too many, some people have been in, especially in the men's division, in the men, they has been injured. But let's get on to NXT right quick. And I know a lot of people have been saying, we want to see Bronson Breakker. Let me say his name. Bronson Breakker, the son of Rick Steiner, the nephew of Scott Steiner, make his debut on WWE main roster. I don't think we're going to get that anytime soon. And I said we might have to wait a year or two before we finally get that. Because I know for a fact he's been on NXT for a good, I think, 3 years now. So, yeah, I think that's the problem with that. But then you have the tag team. Let's talk about the men's tag team division. You got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens holding Raw is War and SmackDown's tag team titles. It's time to take one of those titles off of them to give one of the other shows to have a tag title and stuff like that. And then I want to ask y'all this: when Seth Rollins won the heavyweight title belt, do y'all think that was a favoritism match? Because because Triple H put the title on Seth Rollins and not AJ Styles, even though AJ Styles could have, I think if they had put the title on AJ Styles, it probably would have been better. Because to me, I just felt like Seth Rollins, that AJ Styles Seth Rollins match, it was a good match. I'll admit it was a good match, but I think it was a favoritism match. The reason I say a favoritism match, because none other, Seth Rollins is a Triple H guy, and it was highly favored for him to win. So think about that. Now let me just talk about some of the minority wrestlers right quick. We have a lot of minority wrestlers, and I said a lot of them has been done wrong. I feel like Kofi Kingston is the main person who has been done wrong. But if you look at all the minority wrestlers that are in WWE, from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, you don't hardly see them go for top titles, because it's like I always have said, it always have been some wrong by them. And then I always am very concerned because I don't think the creative team or the writers team can come up with something on their own. And the reason I always have said this, I had always said I believe WWE's writers and creative team comes to YouTube and steal wrestling content creators' ideas. And that's why for years I always told y'all, if you have an idea, do not explain it, because none other. I have had a couple things stolen from me, and I have seen it like a week later or a month later done on WWE, or a year later. And I will get onto that when I get to the women's division. But I can recall in 2022, this is before we found out Cesaro actually Was it 2022 or 2021? It's 2022, 2021, right up in there somewhere. It's before we found out when Cesaro was being highly featured. And if y'all remember that Cesaro-Seth Rollins match, I did a prediction for that match on February 1st, and I think it was 2021. I think it's 2021 or 2022. I'll list it below, but y'all can go and look at the video. But when I did that, when I actually did that, guess what happened like a few days, like 3 days later? WWE started doing a feud like that. And I posted it like on February 2nd of 2022. Yeah. February 2nd of 2022. And I have to ask y'all, how's that and like everybody will always say, oh, that's a coincidence. That's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence if I give y'all my post dates and stuff. So I will give you the name of the video and the date, because I'm really am convinced now that WWE creative team and writers team actually steal wrestling content creators' wrestling ideas. So be out for that. But y'all, that's all I have time for the men's division. When it comes to the men's booking, I think the men's booking has been pretty great for 2023. But overall, I think how some of the wrestlers are being treated, I don't think it's right. I don't think we are getting a good programming. And then let me ask y'all this: is it right for WWE to keep bringing in Brock Lesnar to certain pay-per-views just to get views, just to get ratings and views? And do y'all think it's right to bring Brock Lesnar in for views and likes where you have other wrestlers y'all could be using? All right, that's all I have time for the men's portion of WWE booking problems. So please don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.